Well, just in case what I got off of this camera just is too unbearable to listen to, I'm going to reshoot the same concept with my cell phone. I'm going to get rid of this camera. It's what I have right now. You know, life doesn't stop, so I continue to video things, but the sound quality I get from that Nikon just is terrible. But this is a short addendum to my commentary on bars and chains, more like rambling on bars and chains. I noticed that when I was picking up saws and getting ready to go to work out in the woods, I've been leaving my 56mm MS660 behind and been picking up the 54. This one here's got a lot more time on it, even though it doesn't look it. Well, maybe it does. Because it's just easier for me. It doesn't beat me as much. I don't know if it's because of the power or, you know, vibration or what, but, you know, if I think about it, I'll pick up this. But when I just go grab a saw, and these are the two I'm choosing from, I always pick that one first. So in an attempt to change that, I put the Tsujihara bar on the 56mm version. And I can tell you, when I was lifting the bars, that Tsujihara bar weighs quite a bit less. It feels like a noticeable amount of difference in weight. I don't know if it's a half a pound or how much in real numbers yet. I'm going to measure that. But it's a noticeable difference when you pick up these two saws now. That 56mm feels a lot lighter than the 54. And so while I'm giving some kudos to Tsujihara, I had mentioned in my last video that the two chains I like the most are the Oregon LGX and the Steel RS. Take a look at the cutter real closely on the Steel RS chain. And now take a look at the cutter on the Oregon LGX. You know, it's said that imitation is the best form of flattery ever. Who came out with that first, Oregon or Steel? I think everybody knows what that is. That's sort of a low-end splitter that you can get from Tractor Supply. I run it on just regular gas, nothing special. Chainsaws, by the way, we have a source of non-ethanol gas. That's what I use. And this is their small model. It's got a 2-stage pump. It's rated at 22 tons. It's got a Briggs & Stratton 650 series. And it claims to have 6.5 foot-pounds of torque, and it's 190 cc's. Bigger than your typical chainsaw, isn't it? We've had this for a few years. We got it because of a kind of an interesting and funny story. I had gotten hurt pretty badly and had a wire shot up into my arm. Still have a scar there. And came off a roadside mower and came flying through the cab and stuck in my arm all the way inside. It threaded my tendon like a worm on a hook. Took some significant surgery to remove that 1-inch piece of steel. So I was down. And my friend who I work with was trying to help out, so he decided to come up and split wood for me. And my wife was watching him using the hand tools I typically use and said, "Mister, would you go down there and get that man a splitter? There's no reason why he should have to work that hard." So I go down and buy a splitter. Bring it up and give it to Ron. And Ron used that splitter for the rest of the season, was very grateful. Used it on my wood, used it on his, and Mary's now been using this for the last couple of years. So we've had this for a few years now. keep it inside so it gets, you know, stays out of the weather. Nothing has ever gone wrong with that thing. It's not the fastest splitter in the world. You know, you can buy a lot better pieces of equipment, but I challenge you to find one that's as good for $1,000, and that's what it cost us, roughly $1,000 back when we bought it a few years back. And I have yet to see a log that it can't get through. It may not get through as fast as some of the more powerful and faster ones, but when it gets into that second stage of the pump, I mean, it'll cut right through a knot. So, Huskee, sold at Tractor Supply. And for us, it's been a very good splitter. I can't argue about it at all, you know. And as I get older, I'm going to rely on it a lot more, and my splitting wedge a lot less. So, I was up mowing all day long, so I'm a little tired. I got to split some of this wood, so. Got a little bit done, and I figure I want to end the day by challenging this small 22-ton log splitter just a little bit to see what you get with that 2-stage pump. You know, got that one right there, and a couple of those. They aren't really bad, but it might give you an idea of how that 2-stage pump works when confronted with a little bit of resistance. Nothing else. It's a good way to end the day, isn't it? A piece of crap camera right there with a lousy sound. So I'm having to use my darn cell phone for the talking. And I'll keep using that for the pictures because it actually has good video quality. It just sound stinks. Next paycheck, I'm going to replace it. But for now, I just have to deal with it, and I apologize. Well, that's about it. I think that's enough ugly wood for one day. I should be able to pick together a few shots to make a decent video. Point being that 90% of what a person like me is going to find in a wood lot like this, which is all hard maple, oak, and ash, hickory, that kind of wood, may not be the fastest splitter in the world. But for a guy who has to do 10 cord a year like myself, that can be a very, very useful and cost-effective tool. Well, what else can I say? Started getting this landing a little cleaned up so I can start getting some more logs in. I got a whole bunch more to pull. So, firewood operations 2015.